Welcome to another episode of TAAP. I'm Chad.
I'm Michael.
And we got a little bit different for you here today. We're not in our usual spot. You want to tell us about this, Michael?
Yeah. So this is, you notice, no American flag yet. But anybody who's in construction knows exactly what's going on back here. This is insulation. I'm going to zoom out because we have this great camera. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. We're still in the middle of construction on our podcast studio. So as you can see, we have insulation up, but that's about all we have right now. Doors are in. We're working on power. You can see there's everything that's here. We're working on everything. So see, there's Mikey controlling at the desk there. And so, yeah, we have a little construction, but the thing we're playing with today,
A little bit too big for down in the old studio area.
a little too cramped.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice for smaller pew-pews.
Right.
But we have something else going on, don't we?
Yeah, we wanted to go something a little bit bigger today.
Yeah, we did.
Not so much caliber size, but
it's caliber size, too.
well,
We went.
it's smaller than the 9mm in diameter.
In diameter. See? Well, so it's smaller than a 9
Yes.
millimeter. Oh.
Yeah, see?
So this is harmless.
Yeah, it's not much bigger than a 22, really.
That is
Well,
true. Well,
Nah, it's bigger than a 22.
6.5
Mm-hmm.
on a 223.
Mhm.
Quite a bit bigger,
Yeah.
actually. Okay.
Yeah, so about 3 times bigger.
About 3 times bigger. You ready for the unveiling?
Yep, let's show it to them.
Let's see what happens here.
They've heard me talk about it
Look
a few
at
times.
that. Look at what's on our table there. What do you think?
I love it. I can't wait to get out with it. It's you've heard me talk about this a few times. This is going to be my venture into some long range shooting.
Yep.
We've been working on getting some areas to shoot, and hopefully we've got something lined up here for the near future.
All right.
But this is my 6.5 Creedmore. It's made by Mossberg, actually, which, in doing some research, Mossberg actually makes some great rifle barrels.
I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this
they
rifle.
kind of
just
surprised
so you
me a
can
little
kinda
bit.
show. Let's see here. You see all the wonderful ammo right there. We have it spread out on the table. You see the bolt action is open. So here's the bolt. It's open.
And that's a empty mag in there, if I can
Maneuver it.
Yep. Empty mag. We'll put it down there and show that it's empty.
Yep.
But yeah, it's right now it's really not tricked out a whole lot.
No, so let's talk about, what do you want to talk about first on
Hold
this
on,
thing?
let's start at the front and work our way back.
All right, let me get on the front here. Let me see what we can do here.
Because really there's only a couple of things I've added to this.
All right, what's that right there?
We have an Apollo, I lost the name of it already, because it's been a while since I've used it. An Apollo Max muzzle brake.
Okay.
And this, in doing some research, the nice thing about this is there's 2 ports right here. And those are going to help keep the front end of the barrel down. And then there's, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4 ports on the side. Whole idea between this, because a 6.5, I've fired 6.5 before, and they don't kick hard.
Right.
But the point with this for long range is it helps keep you on target better.
Right.
So have that. Going back down, have a bipod on it.
All right, let's get that bipod on there.
And this is, I don't even remember who makes this, but I'm going to replace it. I'm not real happy with it on there.
Okay.
I want something a little bit sturdier and something that can give me more fixed positions.
Okay.
So this will get replaced. That'll probably end up going on the AR.
Okay. What kind of rail system does this have?
This is a M-LOK rail system.
Okay.
Which is what I was looking for when I got this, just because M-LOK is what most things are going to, I think. And
Right.
The nice thing about the M-LOK is if you have something that is Picatinny or something else, you can typically get an adapter that'll mount right onto this.
Right.
So you can mount that on there. Really with this, I'm going to run it pretty bare bones. Other than if I get a can, I may replace the muzzle brake, but replacing the bipod, and then the big part of this, for those of you that don't do long-range shooting, probably the most important part of it is this right here, your scope. And it's a big one.
So, here's what people don't understand, is a lot of times when we're talking about these rifles, the firearm is probably less than the scope,
Yep.
isn't it?
And in this case, that was the case. Well, I take that back. These were about the same price, but that's because I got a deal on both of them, but I got a really good deal on this scope. It's a Vortex 5 by 25 or 5 to 25 by 56.
Ooh.
So it'll zoom in a long ways.
So when you want to reach out and touch something, it's going to be out there.
Yep. My plan is to the first time we go out, at least be able to hit 1,000 yards, and then push it out to a mile if I can.
All right, let me zoom back in there. So that's the scope that you're looking at right there. So, and it's it's really nice, isn't it? Yep. All right, let's move on down. Standard grip.
Yep. It does have, if you want to go back to the butt, and this is all stock with it. It does have an adjustable cheek riser, and it also has adjustable length of pull. I'm not going to mess with that because right now I've got it set up to where it suits me real nice. I'll probably do some fine tuning once I get behind it and actually start shooting, but...
So this is really nice. It's adjustable, so this is where your head's going to go. Most people, I will tell you, if you're shooting, I'm going to tell you, see where that rest is right there? And I'm going to zoom. I'm going to go the other way here just to zoom up for the scope here, right? So, head here, scope here. Do you see the difference there? That is because if you put your eye right up in this...
you get a black eye real quick.
Really quick, right?
And I have seen people do that.
Right.
So yeah, you want a little bit of separation there between your eye and the scope. It's what's referred to as eye relief.
Right.
But yeah, I can't wait to get this out. Once we do, we're definitely taking out the cameras and and going to get some range time with these.
Yep. So let's switch over to camera 2. I'm gonna see if I can get a zoom in on this this rifle a little bit better here. So let's see here. All right, there we go. Let's zoom in. So there's a little bit better picture of that. This camera is a little more straight on. So that's kind of what you're looking at right there, as you can see the bolt right here. That's open. This slides all the way forward. See how it goes all the way up? And you can see it on camera right there is where it's going into the chamber. So bolt action. Why did you decide bolt action?
To me, bolt action for long distance and for accuracy and be able to put shot placement as close together as possible, I just like bolt action for it.
Okay.
There are some people that say that you can go semi-automatic and do the same thing. That I grew up deer hunting, and I always deer hunted with a bolt action rifle. I just like bolt action for precision shooting.
Okay.
I think that as a general rule of thumb, they are more precise.
Right.
And precise can be relative. If you're only going out 300-400 yards, you can be off a little bit and still be pretty precise. But if you're going out 1,000 plus,
right,
couple degrees in accuracy can put that bullet in a whole different place.
So let me ask you, how if you had to call someone with this, how long distance is that call going to be?
It's 6.5 can reach out to a mile plus.
A mile plus. Can you imagine? Sipping your coffee a mile away from somebody?
Yeah.
So why it's...
not somebody. It'll be a deer or a wild boar or something like that.
That's true. Well, I like people and animals are about the same. So.
But yeah, this has got some range. It'll reach out and touch something. And the fun thing for those of you that haven't been long distance shooting before, which I did some when I was younger, but it's been a long time. And there's going to be some learning curve with this because this is also a Milrad scope as opposed to M-Lock, which is what I normally use.
Which is a little bit different.
A little bit different. The nice thing about the Milrad, even though there's going to be a learning curve, is you don't have to twist the knob as much when you're adjusting that angle.
Right. So, and I'm sure we're going to get into that when we talk about scopes in a later episode.
Oh, definitely.
Because that's a lot of numbers.
That's a lot of math. It is. It's a lot of math. You have to be able to estimate that distance a lot of the time because you're not always going to have a rangefinder with you.
Right.
But yeah, we're going to go out. We met a couple people last month, I met him, then introduced him to you, and
Right.
sounds like he's got some areas we can go shooting at that can reach out to 1 mile plus. So
Yep.
we're gonna have some fun with it.
So I'm going to move out of your way here a little bit, and I would like to see. So this is on a tripod. We're going to get you set up over there
On a bipod.
Or on a bipod. Sorry,
Mhm.
I am used to an extra.
Yeah.
Cameras. I'm in the camera world.
Yeah, you're used to 3-legged.
All right. So how would you sight this up? You have the bipod down.
Mhm.
If you were going to take a shot on this, how would you lean over on this?
Well, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kick Mikey out of his chair because I'm gonna need to sit down.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to stand for a bit, Mikey.
All right.
So when I sight in, I like to sight in either. Here, I'm gonna hand this to you.
All right.
I like to sight in either laying down or have it on a table or a bench.
Okay. So
Just
kind of like this.
just so I can get a little bit extra sturdy.
Okay. And then I'm thinking you're going to have to move this to you a little bit, aren't you?
Yes.
So let's get this down here a little bit. All right.
So and
Oh, I just went upside down. How about that?
So sighting this in, I'm just going to pull this into my shoulder just like you would with any rifle. I like to take my free hand and put it on my other bicep because I've got the support up here with the bipod.
Okay.
And this will also help if you see I'm pushing this into my cheek just a little bit because I want that to be a nice and tight fit right there. If I get that nice and tight, chances are I'm going to get the same picture every time.
So hold that shot right there. Do you see? I could literally put a fist between his face and that scope. So it's not fun. It's funny. We've all watched the videos of someone putting a scope through their eye, but it's not fun when on a range day. But you see you see how that's going down. See how he's that cheek is right up against that plate right there. Pretty comfortable, isn't it?
It is. Now I'm a little bit different. I like to dig my cheek, especially something like this I know isn't going to kick as hard. If this was a 300 Win Mag, I'd set myself up a little bit different, but since I know this isn't going to kick really hard, I do like to push that cheek weld up into my cheek, so it's kind of pushing into right here on me.
Right.
Well, here, I'll duck down a little bit. So it's kind of pushing into right here on me, just into that cheekbone there.
Right. And so when I have that, you see how his arm is on his bicep to cross, and you see how that's a good angle. If you're new to shooting and you have a bipod or you have something that's kind of, you don't have to hold the weight of the firearm, then that's a good position to be in because it's going to be comfortable. B, you're not using one hand to hold everything up. You're using two hands on there.
Yeah, I'm resting this on the back of my hand, and I've seen people do this where they stick their other hand out like this, and you get more play in it. I mean, if I'm moving a little bit here, I get more play in it. But if I get my hand in there and push it in, that's not really moving if I do the same thing.
Right. That looks more comfortable than just having your hand out.
It is.
So I would say if you have never tried this position shooting, I would say give it a try. You might like it.
And then when I'm ready to fire, it's just taking this hand, and that slides forward nice and easy and locks down.
I'm going to zoom in on that where that locked down. You see where that...
You want me to do that again?
Yep, let's do it one more time. See, that's it's open.
And then it just
pushes
locks
down
down,
and goes down.
And this, I really like it. It's got nice, smooth action in there. So if I was in a situation where I need to fire and reload, and that's an easy action to work. I've seen some where this sticks a little bit here and there, and you kind of have to muscle through it and eventually do a little bit of grinding or something just to smooth out a burr that might be in there.
Right.
But then with this, once I'm ready to fire, I've got it on safe, I think.
Of course we do. Because we like safe.
Yes.
All problems to have, right?
Mm-hmm. So this does have a kind of a secondary trigger there that you need to pull in. So it's flush with the trigger, just as an extra safety. But then it's just a matter of a gentle pull.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you heard that or not, but it's got more of a pull than say, on my Canic or my Glock.
Oh, yeah.
But that's because it's a rifle, but it is still, it's a light pull. Why don't you get behind it and give it a try and let me know what you think about that pull.
Let me see. We're going to switch spots. This is the beauty about being able to play with all kinds of fun toys here.
That's the beauty about having more room down here.
Right? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's really nice.
And you'll see Michael does the same thing. He likes to dig that into his cheek just a little bit, just to make sure he gets a nice weld there.
So this arm is actually pulling it in. You can see me pulling it in there. We pull it in. This is actually just supporting. So I could do this, and that's what's actually holding the gun. I'm just resting it on my arm, so I get a nice, comfortable squeeze it in, pull it in, and then, yeah.
And that's got a smooth trigger pull on it.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the other thing I was looking for is, if you're precision, you want that lighter trigger pull.
Yeah.
Again, because, if you're pulling on it, you can jerk it one way or a little bit, and at long range, like I said, a degree or two here and there can make a big difference.
That does. I like that. Throw it back here in the middle. So, see, when we pull it...
You did a mag dump.
We did. So, that's all right. That's, heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy, and that's the other thing that I've had people question me when I've showed it to them is, well, why is it so heavy? Again, that goes to the precision shooting.
Yeah.
You can look at it two ways with a rifle like this, depending on what you're using it for. If you're using it for hunting and you're walking through the field a lot, tracking deer and trying to find a good game, and you might walk. I've been hunting before, and we've walked looking for deer, and we might walk 4 or 5 miles.
Right.
That's not going to be fun to carry for 4 or 5 miles. But the flip side of that is when you get in precision shooting,
right,
you want that way because, again, that's going to help with the recoil. It's going to help keep everything on target when you do pull that trigger, so you can acquire that sight picture again quicker.
Yep. So what's your barreling? We didn't even cover that yet.
I want to say this is 20, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
I would have to look it up, and it's the muzzle brake adds a little bit there. The actual barrel comes out to about here.
I think the barrel comes out to here, and this makes it legal to drink.
Yeah. Well, I think it's 20 without, because I bought it without the brake. It just had a little place that you can unscrew to put the brake or a can on. Right. But I want to say it is a 20-inch barrel that it came with.
So 20-inch, when you get the muzzle brake, she could drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I may, depending on how long I want to go out, I may at some point pull this off and replace it with 22, 26-inch.
So that brings us to this, to the big point here. The style of rifle this is.
Mm-hmm.
This is a AR platform.
It is an AR platform, except for its bolt action.
Correct.
But yeah, it's just like, mags look very similar to an AR mag, just a shorty.
Right.
And I'm going to take the one that's not got anything in it. And they feed through the bottom. See if I can do this without seeing where I'm going. There we go. Feeds through the bottom and seats just like an AR.
Yep. And so if there was a round in it, when you do this, it would have ejected the round. That's how you also know it's not loaded.
Mm-hmm.
So you could replace the barrel. You could change out the barrels on these.
Mm-hmm. I definitely could if I wanted to. And it's been a while, and since I've done anything long range, and well, I've shot 6.5 Creedmore before. I haven't shot 6.5 Creedmore at range.
Okay.
So that's the other thing you have to take into consideration. Some rounds do better with longer barrels at range. Some rounds like maybe a 20-inch barrel at range even.
Yeah.
So I've seen people think, as the general rule of thumb is the longer the barrel, the better the accuracy, the better the range.
Correct. And then the twist pattern in the barrel as well.
But I've seen people go with a longer barrel and actually found that it decreases their ability to put shots on target accurately.
So it also depends on the rounds you're using too. So there's a lot of, you got to pair it right. Mm-hmm. You have to have the right ammo with the right barrel, with the right twist pattern and the length.
Yes, exactly.
There's a lot of stuff that goes in here.
And right now I've got 2 different types of ammo for this, that when we get out of the range, I'll probably test both of those just to see which one I think I like better. And then from there, I'll, if I don't really like the performance of either of them,
Right.
I'll get another.
Is this adjustable?
It is adjustable.
Oh, look at that.
So
I was playing with it, and I wanted to... So...
if I need to angle up a bit for something, I can certainly do that.
Yeah, I'm going to zoom in on that just so, because I started to play with it, and now I want to show it. I don't know. I like that feature.
Yeah. And I do too. The replacement for this, that's going to be something that'll have. And anymore, most bipods you find will, most of them when I was looking, will have the adjustment feature to give you a little bit more length on those legs.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's pretty nice there.
Which is also good, because if this was at a table that was sitting up a little bit higher,
Yeah.
or actually I take that back, a little bit lower, adjusting those legs up so that you're getting more rise there for when you sit down behind it. In fact, I'm going to sit down behind this with it adjusted up and see
how it feels?
Yeah. Which this is probably going to be a little bit higher than what I would want. If you'd lift up that front so I can pull it back to me, because I didn't do that before I...
Alright, so I'm going to get the camera. These cameras are new, so bear with us a little bit.
And even sitting here with it raised up,
yeah,
it still feels pretty good.
I'm going to drop it a couple notches, just to...
Yeah, that's better, but this table is sitting...
taller.
Yeah, it's a little bit taller. It's sitting at a good height for something like this.
Yeah, that's a huge difference, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that right there. All right, we'll switch back over to camera 1 here.
Cover up these lenses. One thing I will tell you is, if you do get a nice lens or a nice scope, make sure you keep the lens covers on. Whether it's a flip-up cover or one like this, that's something I may do, is get some flip-ups for this. I also want to get a diffuser for the front.
Okay. We're on the wrong side here.
Yeah. Get back to our normal sides.
Right.
But yeah, for the most part, this is set up about the way I want it.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'll replace the bipod most likely. May eventually get a can to put on the front, because who doesn't like it when it's quiet?
That's true. That is true.
And then just a couple additions to the scope potentially, and that's really it. The nice thing is I was able to find something that out of the box fit as much as I was looking for out of the box, because I wanted a little bit more, not completely skeletal, but something that was able to be adjusted and had multiple adjustments. It's not like your daddy's old 30-06 where it's just a wood piece there and then you have to adjust to it.
Right.
I wanted something that I could adjust to me.
Okay. That makes sense. So, good piece.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get out and shoot it.
Yeah, me either. And you know what the great thing about this is? We don't really have to clean it.
Yeah, we haven't shot it.
Yeah.
So, no cleaning it. So, I like that.
We like no clean days.
I definitely like no clean days. So, that is a plus there. She's still a beauty, though.
Oh, she is. She's a sexy bitch.
Yep.
In fact, that may end up being her name, is Sexy Bitch.
Yep. All right, let's go back over to camera 1 here. All right. So, good show.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah. And like we said, hopefully end of this month, early next month, we'll be able to go out and put some lead down range.
Yep. And hopefully I will have a wall.
Yeah, we'll have the wall. We'll have the flag up here.
Yep.
Or
that'd be nice.
Potentially over there or over there, depending on how we decide to set everything up.
Yeah. It's a blank slate, so we're still kind of like what this is.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then we're going to customize it the way we want it.
Yeah. Well,
there you go.
It's already pretty much customized the way I want it, but yeah.
Nice, nice. All right.
All
well,
right.
If you like what we do, like what we say, give us a like or follow us on Facebook.
Yep. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. If you got any suggestions for shows or something you want us to do, we're more than happy to hear about it. We'll try and do it.
Yep.
Still have to find some range areas, which I think we might have down.
Right.
Said that for, I don't know, the 50th time, but we've been searching.
Right.
You would think where we are, with all the farmland around us,
right,
you'd be able to find a place to go shoot long range.
Yeah. It's a lot harder than it looks,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, subscribe to us on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. Yeah, we're on Rumble too. So support our channel, give us some likes, and we'll start making more videos for you. Get
more toys to show you.
Ammo's expensive.
Ammo for this is damn expensive.
Right.
Not 50 BMG expensive, but if you get the real high end, I was finding it for $5 plus a round.
Yep, I can see that. So, all right, well, make sure when you are out and about, shoot straight and be on target.
Have a good one, everyone.